From circle to opponent, it's the law on all opponents. I rise from the earth from a blue way first. My destiny is my wisdom exert. When I'm traveling the world, I let them know what time it is. I let them know that it's time to build. Brothers dropping from the east to let you know what's happening.
This is the opener right here. It's gotta be. I didn't know there was a remix to this until like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, we had the ultra jazz mix. He had like two different jazz remixes, one for the Dark Sun Riders and then one for that one. New York was on that jazzy shit. Q-Tip and them had turned New York out at that time.
Yeah, so everybody was on that jazzy shit.
so we throw our little contribution.
Word.
You know.
Word. We got
yeah,
Brother J, episode 11 of Constant Elevation, and the months just keep cruising by. And I hope everybody's well. Hope you're well. And here we are again. Thank you for, you know what I'm saying, continuing to be consistent with this, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Good to see you, good brother, man.
Of course.
Peace to everybody joining in as well. Much respect, family.
Word.
100. Word. Peace to the gods.
Word. Salute to everybody. Good, salute to everybody joining in. If you do have questions or comments pertaining to the discussion, not that you know what I'm saying, hung out with Brother J when y'all was 16 or whatever, for another time, you can use the questions feature below. And then we can pull it up. But this is a kind of a, organized build here. So, and also, just like on the page, if you get on any fuck shit in the comments, we'll send your ass home where you belong. ET phone home, niggas. Yo, so somebody asked what that song was. That was Time to Build.
Dark Sun Riders.
When did that come out, yo? Dark Sun Riders. When did that come out?
That was 95, 94, 95. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Word. So, one quick question before we get into our discussion. It was just something I was curious about. What prompted you to move to Cali?
Production. I wanted to improve it.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Improve it how? I mean, like, just what? Like, why not Detroit? I'm just taking, like, go, tell me. Like
well, I'm saying, the essence of the bigger sound really came from out here, man. We were sampling and recycling in the East, and I was hard-headed. I didn't pick up any instruments in the East, but I know that the culture of live instruments and performing and stuff, most of that was in Cali, and most of the parent labels were in Cali as well, and they were getting bigger dollars for their albums too. So, I went out here to say, let me improve my shit. I listened to Cube and Dre and all these dudes, man, and they make my speakers tilt a little bit differently than the shit that I was doing,
Wow.
So, I came out here, 98. Yep, my first wife, and I came out here fresh. I came out here working, actually. I didn't, I didn't come out here, putting the rap on my sleeve. I was working construction. I was trying to build a little union, my love, big up to Fred DePaul, Master Fred. He was the business agent for the Union 300. I joined that shit, and I was trying to bring brothers over to work and stack their shit up and get off the rap thing for a minute and just get more in touch with their man a little bit, So I came out here for some of that too. Yeah, man.
Nah, that's dope. Construction. Thanks for sharing. I was always curious about that because, with like a lot of New York cats are out there, you know what I mean? And some cats come back really quickly because they just whatever. As far and so I've always curious as when and why this cats head out there and stay out there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats stay. So
West is deep, man. I mean, the underground is strong out here too. I mean, especially for the type of hip hop that you like. You know what I'm saying? The boom bap and the advanced boom bap. It's out here.
No,
and it stays. And you think about the weather. We 3/4 of the year good. So at least even in Christmas time, you might get lucky and have an 80-degree Christmas and shit. So the shows It's always popping out here. There's always something going on. But, you know, just have to say that, you know, there's a lot of rotation for artists to get involved with as far as live shows. And if they got it, people fuck with you, you can build a strong following.
I've noticed.
So it was, yeah, it was interesting rebuilding my following out here, because I didn't go at my core audience. You know, most people that are conscious, like our topic today, you know, I didn't go directly at that market. I was on a label that was punk rock rap, and I was trying to burst, you know, a new wing, you know, because business is business. No matter if it's punk rock, polka music, whatever, as long as you have a following and you know where they at, you know, let the records go. So so I learned from a different sphere out here, man, a different platform as far as how to reinvent yourself. So I'm glad we're doing this topic today.
No, that's dope. Actually, the whole, you know, what you're saying about going out there and just really, you know, experiencing something different, man. I mean, even if you didn't stay, just experiencing something different. I tell people as much as possible, travel, man. Like even if you live in a big state, or just go to a different part of your state. Just go somewhere. Like get the fuck out and see other parts of the world, man. It's more than just your block. So no, that's
because touring is not work. I mean, touring is work. So you're not traveling, being on the tour bus, experiencing the town for a couple of hours and breaking out. When you tour, you mark the special places that give you that right energy, and you make yourself a ticket to go out there and absorb that. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I did in California. We came out here with so much love, you know, big up to the West, just all of the West, but just California, just in particular, man, it was like, it was a different understanding. And they respected, you know, the funk samples that we did and all of that shit, but they also respected what we were saying, you know? So, you know, it was good to be, you know, off the home turf. My home turf is always going to support what we're doing, because, you know, they fuck with us because we street soldiers.
Right.
You know, but, you know, the rest of the country who doesn't know what a Yusef Hawkins and, you know, the police brutality that's happening in that particular city, you know, theirs is different. It's all the same shit, but it's different.
Right. No, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Yeah,
absolutely.
real shit.
So let's get into it, man. This is, you know, this came up for me. This topic we're going to be discussing, conscious artists. What does that mean? And it came up for me because you know, you use this term quite a bit in some of our discussions, and it got me thinking, like, okay, well, what's a conscious artist? You know, is an artist obligated to be conscious? Whatever. So I had some questions we'll get started with, and then, you know, you can add on and whatever you got. But first, before we get started, I wanted to establish the criteria, because I feel like whenever you have discussions comparing things or looking at things, you need to establish, what are we talking about? So what's, to you, in your eyes, what's a conscious artist? What does that mean to you? Because I just want to make sure we're on the same baseline.
Well, in my definition, from the era that we assisted to pioneer what the definition was, it was an artist with purpose, and an artist that understood the respect for generations. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of sacrifice the extra ego that an artist can get on and just curse you out for, you know, for 8 bars, 16 bars, or just be, you know, self-absorbed to a point where you don't have anything to deliver, nothing to put in the time capsule. You know, those are the non-cypher artists, you know what I'm saying? But for the conscious artist, you put in something that, you know, you can come back 20 years and say, yo, man, as an adult now, I can respect that and put that in my lifestyle and put that into my family, into my walk and my path. So I think that conscious artists basically sacrifice the star, you know, not the stardom, because we all get famous when we drop this music. You understand me? But the game that goes with that, and you know, the Hollywood game, you know, the extras.
Yeah.
You know, the conscious artist does not get involved with the extras, man. You know, that's something that we sacrifice. I think that if you have a path that's a little bit more positive than what people display nowadays, because I don't diss on artists, brother. Let me just be clear. You know, there could be artists that talk a lot of shit that are very conscious in their lifestyle. But here we're talking about conscious music, which is the combination of that conscious person putting that into their craft. not being positive, and then you go out and act an ass. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a level of, it's not selling out to me. It's just that it's degrading. You know what I'm saying? Off the intelligence, to be a powerful minded person and you just roll in for the script. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't add on to anything that we're doing. You know, as Black artists, you know, I don't know other ethnicities' issues with this, but as a Black artist, we have no time to play those kind of games. We have no time to even add on to ignorance. So I'm glad that we're addressing this, because I definitely want to get in depth. I definitely put some notes toward this. So
I'm sure
I'll let you build it.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure
that's some things in a nutshell.
Word. I'm sure you did. And so yeah, there was just a few things that I was just curious about. So let me ask you this though, because again, a lot of times, most times when we talk, you know, I share the opinion of a longtime fan of hip hop culture, and you share it as a longtime artist. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, there's an interesting mix there. So as a fan, at least in my ciphers, when you guys came out, Public Enemy came out, and if you're looking at the Jungle Brothers and Native Tongue, I mean, if you're just looking at like this Arrested Development, whatever, you're looking at groups,
right?
KRS-One at the time. So you're looking at groups. We didn't call it conscious. It was just still hip hop to us. Like there was no definition, at least for us as fans. There was no definition, no genre, no, we didn't categorize it yet. Like, were you categorizing it as you were coming? Because I know as a fan, shit came on Rap City, and if it was dope, I was banging it, and if it wasn't, I wasn't. And it was like, whether it was Chuck D going, don't believe the hype, or whether it was you, and saying. So was there a category back then?
That's a very good point, because we didn't come out saying that, wearing that on our sleeve.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We would just, consciousness means to be awakened, means to be aware. So, as a security minded person in the movement, that's the kind of music that we transmitted. You know what I'm saying? So there were no categories. Where you played our music next to NWA and DJ Quick and the rest of it. But unfortunately, when the game got more money, they started creating categories.
Right.
But consciousness never got a category. So you got gangster rap, you got booty rap, you got mumble rap, you got all of that.
Party shit, right? Like dance.
But consciousness never got a category.
Facts. That's wild, because, it goes back to even then. It's like they weren't really, it's like, okay. Like they really weren't, the powers that be, and we talked about that, really weren't fucking with it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Because you can't control it.
Right.
It's the type of shit that would, when that enlightenment comes, it's like the shit that made Kanye say George Bush don't like white people, or it's unpredictable, and they want everything in a bottle.
Yeah, you're not.
You know what I'm saying? If you
fetch it.
Correct. And most of the artists that spit like that are not going to step and fetch it, good brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just real facts, unless they just, like I call it, organic flavoring.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not the true organic. They're the flavoring. That shit that they put in the little vials, and and you taste it with cherry and grape and all of that kind of shit. It's not that real.
Right.
That roots. So I was totally against that. I was against whack rap when I came out. So, I was even hard on conscious artists, because just because you say something positive, if you don't have that flow and you don't have that shit, that Harry Potter, that magic, it don't make no sense for you to come out and make it, you make us look bad. You know what I'm saying? I was telling that to Lord Jamal, big up to him. I didn't like when PX did those albums, because he wasn't a lyricist like that. You know what I'm saying? He was enjoying the fame that the movement was receiving and wanted to be like, hey, you like me? I want to give it to you like this, but if you don't have that flow, that pocket, we had so many soldiers and warriors who had dope flows and shit, that was real conscious artists. When you do it like that, it makes it like a joke. You know what I'm saying? When it's something that you can't bang and be like, oh man, this is tough. You know, I wanted him to wait, you know, until he got to like a Snoop Dogg type of flow. Imagine PX with Snoop flow. Snoop is on beat. You know what I'm saying? Snoop is on beat. And imagine him just having that style like that smooth pimp flow that he had to the next notch. It would have influenced other conscious artists to stay on pocket. I don't want to influence nobody to be experimenting with this thing. We don't have no time to experiment. You know, just really 100.
And you make a good point. I mean, important thing is you need to be good. I mean, or at least try to like. I mean, put out some good music. I mean, like, yeah, it can be conscious, but don't put out no bullshit. I mean, so that's the very important.
Put out no bullshit.
Don't. I mean, it's got to be
like
good.
that.
Because here's the thing.
Exactly.
You're already behind. You're already behind the 8 ball because you're not about the gangster shit, the booty shit, the whatever shit. So you got to be fucking nice. And we talked about this, yo. You sent me some shit. You sent me some shit. You was like some shit you was working on, and I was like, yo, this shit fire. Right. And you was like, I gotta be fired. Like it's gotta be fucking dope, because they're not lining up to hear that shit in the first place.
Exactly, man. Exactly. I have no options. That shit has to go through a triple stamp as far as in my shit, you know, everything, especially now. You know what I'm saying? I have no time to be bullshitting. Any artist that I fuck with, you gotta come with the flavors, man. You can't be coming like I need a little bit more boot camp to do whatever. I'm not American Idol, dog. You know, the warriors who feel it, man, it comes off different. You think about some of your favorite conscious artists, the way that they get in and hit that pocket and also delivering that knowledge to you. You know, you can be sitting playing that record for 6 months and always get something out of it. If it make you work out, if it make you treat your whiz and your children better, whatever it may be. You know, that's nation building music. That's what I define as conscious artists. You know, these cats come out with pretty words. You read a book, you read a Malcolm X book, you pick up a couple words. You know, you temporary. You know what I'm saying? You ain't you ain't doing it on no real level, man. You're not doing it on no level where it's consistent, where a person can come and get involved with what you're doing and build something powerful, dog.
And you made a good point too. And I love when I have a note on my page and you say that shit. So you made a good point. Is that conscious simply means to be aware, and I mean that's the first thing. And what you choose to do with that awareness, but is up to you. And I was even thinking, like, taking it a step further, like, okay, well, awareness of what? Like, you can be aware of a lot of different shit.
All right, let's go into that.
Like,
if you are aware now that the porn industry has oversaturated rap music, why would you continue to add on to that? Okay, let's be aware of that. Okay, and that's a negative thing. Greed is a negative thing. Now look, these are just simple definitions of what makes the conscious and versus whatever. Now, if I'm an aware artist, I'm not going to look at an industry where, you know, 6-7-year-olds are doing some kind of booty challenge or whatever the hell is going on, and the music that is playing behind it is ridiculous. So I'm not going to go add on to that as an aware person to say, man, I'm not going to add on to that. I'm not going to be part of that foolishness. When it all crashes down, you go with that.
Or on the other hand, unfortunately, you have the person who's aware and then tries to take advantage of that situation. And so, like,
correct.
So that's, and says, okay, look, I'm gonna make some money off this shit. Like because that's the thing, yo. Just because you're in knowledge doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good person, or you know what I mean. Like
correct.
You can have a lot of knowledge and know how the game is, you know, everything, and still be an asshole, like, and still use that to, like, correct. You know what I'm saying, for wicked purposes. So it's like, what do you choose to do with it? So it leads me to the next question, man. And we talked, as an artist, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so I'll just ask you, do you feel like an artist is obligated to be conscious or uplift? Charles Barkley said, I'm not a role model.
No.
Right? Like, do you feel like, I mean, like, what's the responsibility there then? Is there one?
I don't feel that when you're a recording artist, it's your obligation to be conscious.
You don't? Okay.
No. I think that is a choice. That is a choice and a sacrifice. All right. The music industry is the music industry, period. You know, that's not something that says, hey, coming here conscious and speaking for your people or doing whatever the case may be. That's not it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you choose to take that job and you can adjust things, like if you're one of those people that can go up to a corporate building and convince them to let you work from home, same science. You go to this label and you say, yo, man, I come from a different side of the street. Yes, sir. Being aware of what makes you work better, what kind of environment you can set for yourself. So same thing with the music. Are you going to feel comfortable wearing the script that the label has made a trend to say, oh, everybody else is wearing their pants like this or rhyming like this, so let me throw my bit in? That's your option, totally, as an artist. You can do whatever you want to do. But now when you're in the movement, you know, meaning even if you go to a think tank or a temple or whatever it is, or you just individual, when you're in movement mentality, you can't go sacrifice that to be some greedy rap star on some bullshit, because now you're altering your principles. Okay? A conscious artist would have principles in their music and in their lifestyle. It's a complete thing. So for me to say that these rappers who talk are not conscious people, I'm not saying that. But conscious artists, they're not. And how you read that is how you read the lyrics. I'm not going to tell you that someone is or not. I'm saying read the lyrics. Get your favorite artist and read the lyrics from bar 1 to bar 16. And if there's absolutely no nutrition in that bitch, then your answer is clear. Period. This is a simple equation. I don't have to tell, I'm not going to say that you're not a conscious person, but your writing is not conscious. It does not keep me aware of anything. Look, I can look at NWA in positive ways as far as street knowledge is concerned. I don't have to glorify to shoot him and kill him and, you know, your bitch ain't shit and all this other thing. But as far as being aware of the snake in the street and the beast that wants to kill you, I can pull a silver lining from that. So I can't say that Cube and Eazy-E, God bless, and all of them were not conscious people, but the material was not conscious music in total.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. And I wanted to definitely get into that because here's the thing, man, and this we talked about this briefly, I think during our first discussion we ever had, and it still fucks with me sometimes, where it's like I grew up on a lot of the street shit too. It's like some of my favorite artists, Mobb Deep, M.O.P. So then, and part of it is like, because I could relate to a lot of the shit that they were talking about at that time, because unfortunately I was running around. And so I could relate to it. And at the same time, I did get things from it. I wouldn't call it conscious, but it's like, to me, they had something to say. A lot of times, you know, and the glorification of the violence, as I've gotten older, I'm like, man, that was a bit much. But there was a lot of things. I mean, these brothers were hurting in some of their rhymes. Prodigy was hurting and sharing some things, like, you know what I mean? And Noy was like, you know, sometimes I wish I had 3 different faces. I'm going to court for 3 cases in 3 places. 1 in Queens, 1 in Manhattan, 1 in Brooklyn. Like the way things looking, I might see Central booking, you know, facing 3 3-9s. That's meant, like, I'm feeling that shit. Like,
right.
And I don't even think they meant it to be conscious. But so where do you place that type of stuff, man? Because like, did you listen to any of that? Did you fuck with any of that? Like, was it, and at the time were you just like, yo, this is absolute nonsense, this type of stuff? Or like, where do you place those types of artists that a lot of hip hop fans consider legendary?
I like to build on that. The one thing about lyrics, street lyrics like that, all right, the jewels that you get, nobody can tell you where you get your jewels from. All right. If I'm on the street living the life of an artist that's kicking it, he done pass where I'm at, and I'm in the street doing what he was, I can get a whole goddamn encyclopedia of jewels out of those artists. Right. That's why I would shoot them down. Like I said, they could be conscious persons writing that. The material that's delivered could be gangster rap, booty rap, this kind of rap, whatever. Now, as legends who have gone through that, I say to them this: you have the power to reform, which is your level of conscious music, quote unquote. All right. If if I was a dude locked in a cell somewhere, I'm not banging on the walls talking about kill him up, shoot him up, dig him up, shoot him up, lick the ass. I'm not doing that in jail, dog. I'm saying I love my mama, I love my girl, and I love this, and I love my kids, and I want life. You singing all kinds of other shit. All right?
You singing the blues, my nigga.
Real shit. Now you think about it. Now, if you're gonna talk about the evolution of what gangster music has been, why continue to speak on the killing and so on when you see where it's taking us? Be aware now and say, yo, man, I'm a different dude now. You're not coming out of there on the same bullshit you went in there on, dog. I don't give a fuck with you. Unless you're just totally insane and on some bullshit. You're coming out saying, I want a clean life. I don't want to be back in that box. I don't want to be fighting for my ass in my life every motherfucking day. Let me put something down that's positive. Right. For you to go put the same costume on that got you inside and got you locked up to go come into some rap music is totally bananas, my boy. Yeah. And you should want to pass on some knowledge so somebody doesn't follow your path. Don't be a selfish nigga.
No, that makes perfect sense. And I think, listen, the 90s were a wild time in a lot of areas, and the late 80s and all that stuff, the crack era, when the crack era hit, like, so that, to me, that music has a place, but I do understand what you're saying, and I respect it. I respect the fact that a lot of artists that I grew up with that were about that, like, this rah-rah shit, like, all the time in their music, have added some other shit to the repertoire, and have added, big up Billy Danz, you know what I'm saying? He's making, you know, like, you know, big up, you know, perfect example. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of people didn't even fuck with his recent, one of his most recent EPs in like 2018, because it was like, it wasn't your typical fucking, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because that song was so strong. How do you go past that? Right. You know what I'm saying? This MOP you building on, right?
Yeah. We're talking about the same. If you look at, like, it wasn't some Annie up shit. So, you know what I mean? But I was building with him, and he was even saying, like, he was like, yo, I kill like 20 niggas every song. He goes, I don't do that no more. He goes, I live out in the woods. He was like, he said, you know, he goes, Annie up put my kids through school. You know what I mean? He was like, he goes, I'm not the, you know what I mean? He goes, people think, so, you know, he's like, people think we savages and stuff like that. He was like, yo, you know, like, we got families and stuff like that. He was like, this is, right now, he said, I've grown up, man. He said, this is the story shit. So.
Now, look at the reform in that. Now, that's where the consciousness begins. It don't take him to put on no Jesus sandals and beads and shit to come and say I'm conscious and shit. It don't take that, you know. And that's the mistake that people stereotype with this. You know, like, damn, I gotta get an X-Clan gear to talk positive. You know, that's the bullshit. No, man. Keep your tractor hat or whatever the fuck you deal with. You know, your Adidas and the whole shit, and do what the hell you gotta do. But what comes out your mouth and your actions is where the consciousness begins. You know what I'm saying? Your actions connected to it. That makes it all good. Like the brother said, look, if he was in Bed-Stuy talking about, yo, man, I flipped the coin. He changed his whole lifestyle. And said, nigga, I'm in the woods.
Yeah, he was in his whip. He was in his whip. He was like, he goes, there's deer running through my front yard, man. He goes, I'm like, I ain't near nobody. Billy Danz.
Come on, bro.
Who used to shoot people for dime bags or for weed? They used to bet, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
telling a different side of the street. So I'm saying, look, to any artist at this point in your game, what is your evolution? Are you going to continue the same shit that you started with if you were banging and shooting and killing? Or is the evolution of what you're doing to say, look, I'm a respected wordsmith. All right? Let me share my peaceful lifestyle with you in a way that you can absorb me. And now you get your people off the Sabbath. Because you remember Annie Up, that was the anthem, you know, unfortunately for my hometown, you know, like, you know, stick them up and give me all your shit.
Yo.
But that shit was banging like a motherfucker.
Yo,
we
rocked that shit before we went out on things, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the anthem. We trust. So yes.
So for conscious artists, that should be the bar. All right, because that's war music. So it doesn't mean that you got to rob and kill everybody when you hear the track, because it's really the track that's bumping. The brothers found a good words to put on top of it, and they rocked it and killed it and all of that shit. but that track. All right. So a conscious artist got to think like, yo, I just can't come out with the beat I made on my watch or that my cousin did down the way. That shit got to match a standard and become an anthem, dog.
Word, word.
All right. You got to condense some of those words. You got the whole CNN current events in your verse, nigga. You got to condense that to something that relates, that can make the woman wiggle and to make the men respect. That's a lot. Now, if you look at a regular artist, they don't care about none of that shit in the equation that I just spoke. They just like, hey, I was sitting on the toilet and some funny shit came to my head today. And I'm gonna go down here and say it over and over, repetition wise, you know, dumb shit, dumb shit, dumb shit, dumb shit, dumb shit. You keep saying, you know, this is how they sing, this is how their cadence is, because they don't give a fuck about the craft.
Right.
Now, a conscious artist would give a fuck about the freedom of speech that you obtain when you get that platform. You're telling me, like, if you came out your house and you just say, hey, I'm glad to be here, you probably have 10 people hear you. But if you say that at the radio station, it's 100,000.
Right.
Your record goes around the world, it's 1 million people. So this is a freedom of speech that you may be wasting if you're not putting the right content and having the right action behind that content.
Right.
That's the pressure that a conscious artist has to absorb, not a rap artist. A conscious artist, because remember, there was never a category.
Never.
So there's no manual to the shit.
No.
You know, cats don't even know what the fuck. I like that shit, but I don't want to put on the African cape and all that.
Right.
Look, bro, when we did X Clan, that's how we dressed for years before any of that music or whatever case may be. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, look, the record label was a camera in the window or a fly on the wall to us, peeping our shit. You know what I'm saying? So if it's in your lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to come to the record label and be like, yeah, we do this on the streets, but I want to be the #1 rapper. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense. That's front like a motherfucker. I would be the biggest sellout in the world, brother. Yeah. That's beyond, that's some Kundalini shit to me, man. That's what I call it. You know what I'm saying? Kundalini. You know, these cats, you know, they positive, and then when they go to the label, it's like, well, I got some gangster raps too. How you doing that?
I've always said, yo, you can't straddle the fence, man. I mean, you can, but I don't fuck with you if you do. Because here's what it means to me. If you straddle the fence, if you decide to put out, if you're flip-flopping all around, then what it means to me is that you're just chasing the buck. You're intelligent enough to do some dope shit and put out some real shit and some positive shit, but you're chasing the buck wherever it goes. And that means you have no integrity. So then I can't fuck with you. You know what I mean? Perfect. That's
basically what, and that's just my personal shit. You can have 1 million fans. You know what I'm saying? I know Tupac from the movement. The Tupac that y'all received, that's not the nigga that I knew. He was doing an acting job for Death Row. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I can't hate on him that he went and got the bag, but I hate the fact that the movement became a secondary thing when you refer to who he is and who his background is. You know what I'm saying? And most cats are not going to say that because they ride dick. You know, 70% of hip hop is dick riding, bro.
Fucking
you know what I'm saying?
Penis jockeys, man. Giddy the fuck up, man.
So you're gonna see Matula Shakur's son, his stepfather, such a grand background with Black Panthers. His mom's in the Black Panther. God bless her. God bless her. So you're gonna take all of this knowledge, and all I can get is, I wonder why they call you bitch. I wonder why they call you bitch. You know, and I'm saying to you, not to make it that his music was thin, but what about us? What about where you came from? Because there's an audience that fucks with you for real, for real. Right. No matter what. When Death Row drops you, there's an audience that fucks with you when you don't sing no more. There's a grassroots audience that fucks with you. And we didn't get ours. The pop niggas got everything from him, but we didn't get, you know, the real shit. You know, we got the angry rebellion and shit. You don't want to follow him spitting on cops and shit, man. You be dead in this motherfucker. That's not the kind of example that you want to be like, yeah, Tupac is hard. He came from the movement, man. He spit on cops and shit. He came out, put his finger to the judge and all that shit. You be dead and locked somewhere and forgotten about, dog.
Yeah, that's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Smart move.
Real shit.
That's not.
You know, they taking the wrong things from that guard, man. You know what I'm saying? God bless him and everything, man. But you know I blame myself and the movement, because if we couldn't put $1 million together,
you said you blame what in the movement? You cut out for a second.
I blame myself and the movement.
Okay,
for if we couldn't put together $10 a head to raise $1 million to get him out of jail before Suge Knight, you know, that's some real bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I think that reflected that reflected to a lot of the generation, because they're saying like, damn, the gangsters went and got that nigga out of jail. Them red, black, and green niggas ain't this shit for him. Okay, we could have got him out, you know, and made him our soldier, made him out, you know, KRS or Most Def or whatever it is, and you know, let him get back to the round the world shit he was doing with Digital Underground. That music was good too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
When
he was with Digital,
that
sound was good. Yeah, bro. Rest in peace to him. But I like that music too. I feel that music with more production on top of that and around that, Tupac would have been a different entity than what he was on Death Row. He represented the ultimate.
Without a doubt. I mean,
yeah.
I fucked with the first Digital Underground album. That was a good album, man. Very, very.
That was a good ass album.
Very, very good.
That was a good ass album. I mean, he wasn't premiered as much as he wanted to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're in Shock G's production grid. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm sure he wanted to be like, you know, like Kyrie Irving saying, yo, I'm ready to leave a team. You know, I'm ready to lead and shit. And, you know, you might not have been ready to lead.
How'd that work out for you, Kyrie? You weird ass fucking goofball. And I fuck with Kyrie, but come on, that nigga's, you know. All right, anyway.
But what would he do right now? To say like, yo, I want y'all to love me again. Let me go ahead and get this jab. What would he do right now?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I mean, the thing is, in terms of the conscious shit, and it kind of translates to music. So the whole woke shit just drives me crazy, and I feel like being conscious, quote unquote, now is like a trend. It's like wearing fucking Uggs. I mean, it's a trendy thing to I mean, and I feel like it's a lot of trendy shit. Like I've seen people just maneuver differently, all of a sudden become self-righteous that they don't smoke or drink no more. It's like, yo, like 6 months ago you were fucking on the street, passed the fuck out. Like, so it's just, it's weird with people like, you talk about like Kyrie or whoever, there's sometimes a disingenuous thing behind it. And that's why I say like, okay, just because you're aware doesn't mean you do positive things with it. Sometimes like you may fuck up. Like, you know what I mean? Like I've had awareness about shit and got my ass in a world of trouble, B. Like, still done some dumbass shit. I mean, you know, so, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
So we kind of going off a little bit. But did you have any, I'm pretty done with the things that I wanted to cover. What did you have anything you wanted to get into?
No, I was enjoying our conversation on that. I really want to dig in your cranium to see. Yeah.
Oh, let's go then.
What?
I mean, whatever. What you got? You mean you want to?
All right. So
about what?
Now let's build, because the definition of woke didn't come from black people. Okay, that new woke or whatever the fuck that is.
I don't know what that is.
That's
I don't know where. I don't know. All of a sudden, I just. Well, I'm woke.
That's some commercial ass white shit or something, bro. Because I don't know what the fuck that is. That's like cancel culture. I don't even. You know, there's always hecklers, but you give them a definition and you give them a position to be like, they could just strike at $1 million productions and make you fire actors and all kind of dumb shit. I don't get with their definition of conscious or woke or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We got to stick to the grassroots. You know, I say that terminology from a grassroots perspective to be like, look, when you're awoken, when the light bulb is all open in your head, man, it's a different kind of a transmission that you give.
Yo, 2021, man, it means you fucking take CMOS and burn sage and fucking post positive shit, self-righteous shit on the fucking internet. That's what the fuck it means right now. Like,
hey, that sounds like some hippie. That sounds like a hippie or something. You know, I mean, like,
to that shit, but that's what it means. And you fucking, and you talk down to people like as if you fucking are better than them, and like you're just, you know, you're posting astrological shit all the time. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's what I'm saying.
But this is the thing. Don't get caught in people's boredom versus people truly transforming their life for the better.
I can filter out the bullshit. I mean,
yes, because you know, a person that's bored is like, I'm tired of getting perms. Let me go get some locks. All right,
yeah,
that's bored. All right, but the person that's saying, yo, I'm making a transformation in my life. I want my look, my internals, my everything to be in one accord.
No, I get it.
Okay, so when they come and say, yo, I'm not eating Snickers and shit no more, and I'm eating sea moss, it's not a self-righteous thing. Okay, it's them saying, yo, time is ticking, and I'm wiser now because you have the knowledge, you have access to the knowledge. Like you said, you can be smart as a motherfucker and do dumb shit. But when you have the wisdom to know, damn, I've seen how these equations have done in the past.
Of course.
Okay, wisdom is after the journey. All right? With both the knowledge and the wisdom, there is an overstanding or some kind of understanding going down to say, I know the right calculation to move forward.
Right.
Now back to us in this music thing. Okay? These artists have
real quick, I just wanted to say that it's just the fact that that makes perfect sense. I'm just saying there's a way to go about, like, listen, I was off the grid for 15 years in like an ashram, man, and like doing my thing. Like there's a way to, and I was a self-righteous asshole at sometimes. But there's a way to go about, we should all make positive changes. There's a way to go about sharing those with people. And a lot of times we're very immature when we get some knowledge because we can't, it's like, wow, this is just great. And so we come across in a way that's not so palatable. So that's all I'm saying. But yes, there's, of course, I encourage and I applaud anybody trying to make positive changes in their life. So back to
correct. You don't want to seem like that because that's why they're afraid of it. When the way you said, like, yo, you eating sea moss and shit, now you come up to me trying to do whatever, you know, they're afraid to present that lifestyle to their families who didn't do that.
Right.
So they usually end up hiding in some kind of strange closet or, you know, or associating with people that have the look of what that is. You don't even have enough antenna to know who's faking and who's not because you're so busy hiding. That's what's happening in this music. A lot of these artists in the game are more positive than what they spit. And their answer will be, yo, when I spit this to the label, they kept shitting on me. I want to be famous. So I did what I had to do to get in that position. That fills my ego and makes me a better person. That's what they chose to do with their spotlight of freedom of speech.
That's a choice.
That becomes a trend. All right, when that becomes a trend now, a corporation sees it and says, hey, it seems like all of these cats like rhyming about guns and shit. I can go tap into the Godfather film market or the Scarface film market and combine the two. So when they saw that work for 15, 20 years, okay, then they say, hey, what if we took the other biggest industry in the game, which is porn, start blending it in the music? Let's see what the fuck will happen. So you start seeing Whisper Song playing on broadcast radio. You sit in your car driving home with your kids and the Whisper Song come on. Now the Whisper Song is something that will come on when you're having a drink with your boys and you at the spot or whatever case may be. Why is it on with your kids? Because now the trend that we've made, because we made this illusional devil behind the desk that only wants to hear one thing, that can't be right. Because in other industries, what we talk about doesn't even exist. And they're doing better than us. Okay? Do you think Adele gets up in the morning and says, yo, you know, I don't have a booty song. Let me go in the back and write a booty song and see if I can drop it and get low for somebody. Do you think she goes through that? That's not even an option for her.
Of course not.
Why is it an option for us?
No, of course not.
That's where I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? When I see country music Lil Wayne and a folk music Lil Kim, then I'll shut the fuck up.
Right.
But as far as what I know, I don't see that, bro. I don't see that. They dump all the bullshit and experimental shit on rap and hip hop
Oh
music.
yeah,
Rap being
we the
commercial.
circus act. But yo, but here's the thing. It has to come. It comes back to the artist a little bit because in the end you have a choice. You had a choice at some point. I mean, in my opinion, lyrically, you could do whatever you want. So like, you have a choice. You had a choice to say, okay, you said it. We're not gonna fucking jump through the hoops for y'all. So the artist in the end has a choice of like whether that, if you're just chasing the bag. And I always said this, yo, if you want to blow up and be famous in any of this music shit, you got to do a lot of fucked up shit. Like if you want to blow up, like in a lot,
Right.
in this rap shit. But if you can feed your kids and still keep your integrity and take care of your bills and stuff, it depends on what you want. So I always look at it like the artist in the end, man, they chase the bag. And it seems like with our rappers and our cipher, black music, whatever, like Latino music, it's like, yo, we go after the fucking bag, like no matter what it is. It's like it could be hanging over a fucking, pool of crocodiles or whatever, right? But we go after, like, that's the bag. Like, it don't matter. So it's like, that's a frustrating
Yeah, because a big bag would elevate our laziness. Okay? It would be, I don't have to get up in the morning. I don't have to do shit. I'm already taken care of. All right? That kind of kills, you don't want anybody to subscribe to grinding all their life. Okay? But all money is not good money. And that's a decision that you got to do before you sign any kind of contract for bread or anything. All money is not good money. So what is the obligation of this?
Facts.
Okay? When I sign this, what does this mean? Does it mean that you can call me at my house when I'm cuddling with my woman and you say, yo, get off your ass, get on that tour bus right now? You got a contract obligation. Then you signed a slave agreement. Okay? You signed a slave fucking agreement. Same day we was talking about Kyrie. They make fun of him because he awakened as an adult and said, damn, I'm a slave in this bitch, a rich slave. I'm well taken care of in this motherfucker. How do I get back to enjoying the game without having to feel like a slave or be forced? And then they instantly made him weird because he's speaking on his revelations and things that he's going through as a young man. So same thing with artists. Okay? These artists go through a point and they get a revelation, boom. Like the brother from Bone Thugs say, yo, man, the industry, I saw a meeting and the industry was, it was a genocide that was created and so on and so on. And you figure this out after years of success, but the light bulb came on at a point. Now, from that point forward, you can't spit anything other than what your revelation was. Okay? The people have to charge you with that. Okay? If Nas did an album with Damien and went back the next day, said, yo, shooting and killing and blah, 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 the audience should back the fuck up and say, yo, man, fuck that. You got a frequency that you elevating the love that we have for you. You're evolving and going into root shit and bringing that knowledge in a different way. Yo, we love you in that frequency, man. You know what I'm saying? But their voice is not as loud as dick riders. Okay? The dick riders become the culture that says, yo, man, fuck it. Any way you want to do it, man. I don't care. It could be savage. It could be crazy. I don't give a fuck. As long as you don't be talking about nothing that spoils my party. Fuck that.
Right.
You got to spoil the party. You got to turn it down. You can't have it cranked on all the time. While you're partying, look outside your door. Chemical warfare. Niggas shooting down motherfuckers in the street. I can go down a laundry list of shit. But you want to party. You want to put the earphones and block out the world on some denial shit. That's what the music sounds like to me of today. All right, that's what it sounds like to me. So how would anybody not want to be a quote-unquote conscious artist? Someone that is aware to say, no, I'm not adding on to that shit. That shit is disaster, homie. We'll be partying in here, and motherfuckers will pull up, talking about get on the ground, take this jab, go to the quarantine factory, whatever the fuck it is. And we was in here partying and smoking and tripping the fuck out. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Right.
That's ridiculous. Who want to prescribe to that kind of shit as an adult, dog? And it's true and living facts, bro. Look what they doing. Look what's happening. You know what I'm saying? You walk to the store in a mask now. We be playing games, and you go home to listen to what? go home and listen to what? To be in denial of reality, man? You're not going to listen to an artist that's saying, yo, this is the reality, and here's some of the solution. You fill in the rest of the equation. I would listen to some shit like that all fucking day long.
Right.
But that's just me.
Yeah, that's the problem, though. That's just you, and maybe it's select. I mean, maybe it's not enough. Like, you can't, because you can't change what people want to hear, what they want to. If people, take the red pill, the blue pill, whatever. It's like, yo, people choose to stay in darkness, right? Like, I mean, that's in the end, they making a conscious decision sometimes to stay in that shit. I mean, so it's.
Yeah. But you create a rift. You create a rift through generations, and even through your own peer level. You create a rift, because I don't want to hang with nobody who just says, yo, fuck it, I took the blue pill. It is what it is. Nah, man, we ain't got no blue pills in here. Now you're creating a distance and a separation.
Right.
Natural. And that's what the beast does. They create these categories. Like we said in the beginning of this conversation, there were no divisions in rap.
Nope.
Bro, I've been on tours with every motherfucker under the sun, from R&B dudes, Isley Brothers, legends and veterans like that, to MC Light, to whoever, and there was never conscious and street rap.
Yeah.
And a little bit of gangster rap and R&B today. It was never that. It was good music.
And it shows the diversity of the artists.
Yes, yes. We lost that. You know when we lost that even more? When they said hip hop R&B as a genre. All right? It was like saying all you niggas in one place. Because imagine if they were separate and thriving, other music genres would go down. Okay? So when you threw everything into hip hop R&B and say, yo, y'all get in. No more verses between the songs anymore. Y'all find a way to make the hip hop R&B into its own shit. Now, you ain't, I don't know too many conscious R&B artists of today. Cats are harmonizing shit. That's the most nastiest shit. I don't even know how you pull a female with that kind of talk, but the sisters sing it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck that is. You know what I'm saying? Look, the R&B was supposed to be so smooth, like Marvin Gaye, you think. Okay? It was supposed to be so smooth and pimping that you're singing it while you're washing the dishes. You're singing it to your man on his birthday or whatever case may be. The females had something to how do you sing that shit to your people? You know what I'm saying? And the lyrics followed. Remember now, hip hop R&B. So once they saw the success, you see somebody like a R. Kelly succeeding, he would have been like a super nasty rapper or Al Green type of artist. He fucked around and combined it. Now you talking all the nastiest shit on tones and shit that we relate to. And then the rapper says, yo, man, look what this nigga's doing. If you listen to 70% of this hip hop today, they are biting his dick. No matter how they feel about him or whatever, that's your daddy, dog. Fucking R. Kelly is their daddy all fucking day long, bro.
Damn. Makes perfect sense.
Am I bullshitting? No. If I'm wrong, check me, bro.
No, it makes sense to me. I mean, it makes sense in terms of that, and it's, yeah. Nah, it makes perfect sense.
That's part of the problem. Now, when you see the success that man has received, and many other motherfuckers after him,